to go over Shohei and the news. Jeff, we appreciate the quick connection here. So your thoughts on what this means for the future of Shohei Ohtani. You wrote a book about him, so obviously we're projecting forward. It doesn't matter the Angels season anymore. It's about him.
Yeah, it's really shocking and disappointing to know that his future as a pitcher is in question now. I mean, I think he's certainly definitely going to try to pitch again. He may pitch again, but he may not. I mean, we may have seen this might have been it for Shohei as a two-way player. I think that would be a terrible tragedy if that happens. But there's a reason nobody's done this in 100 years. It's really hard to do, and I hope that doesn't happen. But it's certainly a possibility that we need to think about.
You said last time you were on how he's kind of cloaked in a invisible, doesn't speak to the media too much. Was there any idea that maybe an injury was coming with all the cramps and the tired, all the things that we heard towards the end since the All-Star break about being tired and skipping starts? Is there anything that you could have inferred from that?
We asked all these questions all the time, like, are you really sure it's just cramps? Are you sure there's nothing else? Are you sure he's not hurt? And they said over and over and over, it's just cramps, it's just fatigue. He says he's okay. We trust him to know how his body is, without question. And he gave them no reason to suspect there was anything more serious than just some cramps or fatigue.
Why would he not pitch again? Do you think he would just say, hey, I'm just going to play like this. I don't want to go through. And we don't know if he needs Tommy John surgery yet, do we?
No, well, I mean, he's got a torn UCL, so he's either going to have Tommy John surgery or he's going to take his chances on, the PRP and the stem cell, which he did before. That didn't really work. So I think he's going to have surgery if he wants to pitch. It's just a long road, and maybe he's just, maybe it doesn't work. It doesn't work for everybody. Who knows? I'm just kind of throwing it out there for people to prepare themselves that it's possible.
It's awful. It's awful. It's awful for the sport. It's awful for the guy. It's awful for everyone involved in Major League Baseball. Jeff, where are you flying? You're obviously at an airport. I can see that. It looks like
I'm in Dallas. I'm halfway between Orange County and New York.
Oh, they make red eyes
this weekend.
They make red eyes, by the way. You could have taken one last night, and I'm just throwing it out there, but it's okay. I understand. Or you could have jumped on the team flight.
One of my colleagues was taking a red eye and missed the whole Ohtani thing, by the way. So I was writing till 2 a.m.
Okay. Yeah, AJ, he did it right, and also I don't think the Angels are letting him on the team flight. I don't think there's enough space for all of the writers to hop on.
Well, I do. I honestly, here's the thing about Shohei in this arm that I have wondered forever is he had Tommy John. And they said torn UCL. How the hell did they find out so quick? Did they have in Angel Stadium? They have an MRI machine in the dugout, and because he found out between games, didn't he? And didn't he get a hit?
Well, he came out,
and he was standing on second. There's a picture of him.
He came out he left the game in the second inning of the first game, and I heard that he left the ballpark. So I think they might have taken him to a hospital or something. He got the MRI there, and then he was back between games. So, and there was a split doubleheader. So he left the first game at 1:45, and he was back playing the second game at 6:30. So there was plenty of time to get out and get an MRI.
Hey, Jeff, you've studied this player as much as anybody on the planet. I know it's tough, but just throwing a prediction out there, I want to know more on what's important to him, right? Do you think knowing this player that's going into free agency, hasn't been in the playoffs yet, the one thing he's been vocal about is wanting to win. Do you think the most important thing for him is to say, hey, I'm going to put the pitching aside for now. I want to be a hitter on a winning ball club, and then maybe I can at some point get the surgery and do this again? It's so weird too, because we just don't usually have players that are like, oh, I'll just hit for now and then I'll deal with that elbow at some point.
I mean, I think he wants to win. Obviously, all players want to win, but I also think he really wants to be a historic player. He wants to be this two-way superstar that he is. So that's why I think he's going to do everything in his power to continue to pitch. I'm just not 100% sure that it's going to be possible just because it's, what happens. But certainly his first choice is going to be to continue pitching. He wants to be, the greatest player ever. He wants to blaze this trail as the greatest two-way player ever. He wants to do all that. And he also wants to win. So, I couldn't tell you what percentage for what, but I know those are two very important things to him.
Does this open up his opportunities to go to more teams because there might be a 1-year type of option instead of 10 for $600 million?
I don't think he would do that. I think he's still going to get a big chunk of guaranteed money. I mean, you look at Aaron Judge, basically, he got 9 and 360, I think, as just a hitter. And so even if you get him as only a hitter, you're still probably looking in that range. And I believe Judge is a little older than Ohtani. So he's not going to turn down all that guaranteed money. There's probably going to be some other little clauses in it, your escalators. If he does pitch, he gets this or that, or maybe an opt-out if he say he decides he wants to stay with the Angels because he knows about rehabbing there and he's more comfortable rehabbing there, but he's still a little concerned about whether they're going to win or not. Maybe he signs a deal with the Angels but gets an opt-out after like year 3, something like that. I'm just guessing. But there could be a lot of different possibilities that could happen at this point.
Jeff, if he does get terrible news from his second opinion and they say you need to have Tommy John, will he get it right away and shut it down for the year and then therefore hurt Artie Moreno and his ticket sales and his sponsorship money? And also, I mean, do they wish they traded him now? I know it's easy to say, well, we didn't know this was coming, but there's a lot of people out there saying, you know, and after we talked about it, you know, we're not one of those people that's saying they should have traded him, but there's a lot of people out there saying, see, the Angels got what they deserve. They should have traded him. Like, that's an awful take because you don't ever want to want anyone hurt. But do they think maybe there's a little bit of remorse?
I mean, on the first question, a lot of the tickets are already sold and the sponsorships are already paid, so they're not going to lose really any of that. In 2018, he found out he needed Tommy John about September 4th or 5th. He waited till October 1st to have the surgery, so he hit for the rest of the year. As a result, he couldn't play until like early May of 2019. So if he wants to avoid that this year, he'd probably have the surgery right away. As for the remorse, you know, hindsight is 2020. I mean, nobody could see what was going to happen. I think the real reason the Angels kept him was not so much because they thought they had a great chance to win this year, but because they wanted to keep him. And I think they still want to keep him. And, you know, that's still a possibility. And if they would have traded him, that would have not been a possibility. So I don't think that they're really going to wish they'd done it any differently. They probably just wish he didn't get hurt.
Jeff, let's get to Trout quick. So he hops back onto the IL. What happened there, and did he come back too soon? Because AJ was worried about that with an injury like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a broken hamate. They basically just take the bone out, and then it's just when you can tolerate the pain again. So the general time frame for that is like 4 weeks to 8 weeks, but it has gone longer with some guys. He was at 7 weeks. He said there was still some pain, but he thought he could tolerate it. He played one game. It was worse than he thought. And so they just decided, you know, they didn't want to take a chance that maybe he would cause some other injury to something else if he changes his swing. So obviously there's no point in taking any risks at this point in the season. So they're going to give him another at least 10 days on the IL and see what happens.
Okay, Jeff, good stuff. Safe travels. Nice Jersey shirt there too. A lot of Jersey love today.
Jeff, why are you kissing up to Scott with your New Jersey shirt on?
I went there over the summer. It's a cool place, Stone Harbor.
Yeah, there we go. I like the shirt. Yeah, sorry about it, AJ. Hey, Jeff, really appreciate you hopping on with us. I know tons going on right now for you, but very relevant time to bring you on. So thank you. And AJ, show the book.
Oh, yeah. I have it right here.
It's on the desk every day.
Every day.
All right.
Scott hasn't read one page of it yet. I'm just saying.
Have you,
Thank
AJ?
you.
I'm going to read every book. That's not true.
I
I won't let you. You literally hug it every morning. So, Jeff, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Everyone can check out Jeff's book, as you can see.